All of the following are accommodation on statewide assessments, except take-home test. Students are not allowed.
Welcome to the podcast.
That's how you start it right there.
That's what I've been watching.
Episode 22.5, everybody.
My 22.5. There we go. So, how's everyone doing? We have Rick back. How are you doing, Rick?
Pretty good. Just got off work early this morning. Worked 6 to 3.
Like the haircut. I need one.
Yeah, man.
The haircut does look
Guys, don't even talk
Rick-
to me about needing a haircut.
Rick went to the Spanish ladies down the road. They're cool in there.
Yeah,
the babes.
they do really good too.
I don't know if I was going to say, I don't know if I'd necessarily call them babes. The mom usually cuts my hair when I go in there. I don't know if she's necessarily a babe. But, you know,
Yeah.
they do a good job. Garrett, how you been?
Oh, well, you know. But it's only been, what, 4 days since our last show? 3 to 4 days, something like that? Whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, not much has changed. I got a really concerning call from school about attendance, even though I've been attending everything. Yeah, that should be
Way to go.
questioning whether I'm going to
Go
graduate.
to school, you hooligan. Hey,
I
dude,
go
same.
to school.
If I don't pass my test on Monday, I don't graduate. All 6 years of school down the shitter.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, Charlie, how you been? Did you go on your walk?
Yeah, I went on a walk. I've pretty much just been sick.
Joined back into Bane like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah,
How many times is that?
3. 4.
Jesus, dude.
It's an ongoing loop.
Make up your mind. All right,
Jeez.
anyway. So this is our prediction special episode. Dude, hold on. Hold on, streak for the cash. Your pick one.
There you go.
Hold on. Gotta make a pick real quick. Download the app. It's great. ESPN streak for the cash. Let's see. All right, bro. I'm saying which horse will win the Santa Anita Derby? Iliad or Gormley or any other horse, bro. I'm taking Iliad, bro. Iliad's gonna rock it.
No, dude, you got to pick any
other,
other.
man.
Dude, no, Iliad's
Any other,
winning.
dude.
Iliad
Now,
is
any other
winning.
horse. But if any other horse wins, you're screwed.
Yeah, but it's horse racing, dude. Those are obviously the number 1 and 2 horses. No one outside the top 2 wins.
But there's this show.
You don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm a pro.
This book
Ask
called
Rick
The
and Charlie
Rocky
how
Horse
often I go.
Winner. There's this book called The Rocky Horse Winner.
Hey, what's up, Downsy? This is Downsy hopped in.
What's up, Downsy?
Fellow lad.
Welcome.
God.
What a lad. All right, so let's get started.
Do it.
We're going to go through the tag division. So basically we have this roster shakeup happening on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to go based on, we're assuming that things are going to be done in a trade format. They're going to trade, certain number for certain number. If anything, I guess Raw would send over more than SmackDown as far as numbers wise, but we all went based on trades because they haven't exactly said what's going to be happening. But it's still fun to predict these sort of things. So we're going to kick it off with the tag division, and we're going to kick it over to Rick first. Rick, give us your first prediction, bro.
Oh, you're right. All right, my first prediction is going to be I'm going to have to go with the End Zone Cass for American Alpha because I feel like Kurt Angle's going to want American Alpha, and then End Zone Cass can go ahead and join Carmella and start doing their thing, and they can boot off Ellsworth or something. I don't know. They keep screwing him over on.
They can have an Enzo versus Ellsworth year-long feud.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Get
Ellsworth.
Ellsworth out of the show.
Yeah,
Or maybe Big Cass and Carmella are into that sort of thing, and Ellsworth can join.
Oh, no alien manatees happening.
no chicken.
Dude, what if they did a story where Cass got back with Carmella, and then she ended up pregnant and had a kid, and it came out and had no chin?
Vince would sign off on that.
He probably would. I hope you're watching, someone from WWE. So, all right. So I like that trade. Did anyone else have that trade first and foremost?
I actually had that exact trade.
All right, Charlie had the exact trade as well. So
Didn't have the exact
It's good to
trade.
be true. Like Enzo and Cass need to go, and American Alpha with Kurt Angle makes sense.
I didn't have
That's
the
true.
exact trade. I did have American Alpha down, though.
So did I. So all of us had American Alpha moving. I personally had American Alpha being traded for the New Day.
I had the same thing.
So there we go.
Those make
Wow.
sense.
So it makes sense. Face for face. They're both definitely getting stale. I don't know. It seems like it needs to happen, right? Like
Yeah.
New Day could be. They need a new face of SmackDown or faces now that Cena's gone. Cena and Nikki are gone. They've got AJ, but he's only kind of there for like hardcore fans. New Day is easily recognizable. That's what they need on SmackDown right now. Anything else to add, Garrett?
I just think that it makes sense. I mean, no matter what, whether it's the New Day or Enzo and Cass, he's trading one of the face teams on Raw. Hey, he could trade Sheamus and Cesaro, and I mean, they just won that match though, right? But I'm saying, but
They're the number one contenders.
they're the number one contenders. But if they weren't the number one contenders, they would be going. You know what I mean? Like they could possibly be going. So it's like one of those trades where one of the two sets of us is right. And we'll just have to see who it is. It makes sense either way. Personally, I like Enzo and Cass on Raw better because they have a bigger audience. But
either way, we've got American Alpha going with Kurt Angle. I feel like that just makes too much.
So much.
We've got a little war going on in the chat between Panther and Downsy.
Oh God,
He's actually a Packers fan like me, and he's like, "Die Cowboys, go Pack, go!" Because
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
he's a Cowboys fan. So 28 pick should be interesting.
So then we also have another
I actually have
another tag trade that Rick has listed down. So Rick, what's your second one?
My thing I actually put down Slater and Rhino for Enzo and Cass. That's my original pick actually. What happened was I actually have a New Day for American Alpha.
So there you go.
Oh,
okay, and then you have Enzo and Cass for Slater and Rhino.
They had such a good hype to them forever, and they held those belts for a good while, and now all of a sudden they're what happened?
they haven't been on TV
So
really.
maybe I guess they're going to try to maybe boost them back up by putting them on the other brand.
I feel like that's the big reason we're having all these guys switch rosters, right? It's like people that are they need something.
Some guys are slipping.
It's got stale.
You know?
Because
Yeah,
whatever
people that are
these
still
trades
good, but
these trades are going to lead into storylines you watch. You know what I mean? Like those people that get traded are either going to be put behind the scenes and told you're going to be doing something the next couple months, or they're going to be immediately in a feud.
yeah,
I think,
exactly.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a couple jobber trades just to have more people to beat up, but who knows? So who knows, man? Maybe Ellsworth can get back over to Raw and face Strowman. I do not have that trade listed, but
Yeah,
it
exactly.
would be interesting. But all right, so let's move on to divas. I have pretty much two of these. The first one I'm gonna say Charlotte for Alexa Bliss, straight up, because I just think they need. I mean, they're both heels. Charlotte, SmackDown needs someone that can go over there and just run the division. Alexa was doing great, but the Raw is more about personalities than SmackDown is. Charlotte's got the in-ring work. I think SmackDown needs a big boost in their Divas division, and Raw doesn't necessarily need a top person, but Alexa Bliss can come in there and she can have those secondary feuds. That would be really great. So did anyone else have that?
I did.
Exactly that trade.
There we go. So we had two more people with that exact trade.
It just makes sense. I actually
It does, man. So Charlie, what'd you have?
I had Charlotte for Natalia and Mickie James. So a 2-for-1.
2 for 1. Okay.
Okay.
They get the older face and an older heel for Charlotte. Just in a sense that Raw needs more women on their brand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they do, because they've been trying to do secondary feuds. So I mean,
Yeah. And Mickie James and Natalia are both, they're historic wrestlers almost. They're a lot older. They've been around a lot longer. So
that's true. Really good workers and stuff like that. I had another trade. So we also, and I mean, I didn't have them listed as heads up for whatever, but I figured Charlotte Alexa Bliss would be seen as pretty even. The other trade I had was Mickie James for Nia Jax. I don't think a lot of people are predicting Nia Jax to go over there, but we haven't seen Nia and Charlotte enough for it to be stale. So I'd be fine with them continuing their feud over on SmackDown now that Nikki's gone, and especially if you were to say Nikki's gone, Alexa's gone, Mickey's gone. You have two heels now that can go after Naomi. Naomi can either look strong and have programs with both of them, or Charlotte could take the title off Naomi right away, and Nia and Charlotte could have a nice long feud, and then have Naomi chase one of them. I'd be down with that. So
that's true.
Moving on, we have the male singles trades. I believe we have 3. Charlie, Garrett, and I each have 3, and Rick has 2. So we're gonna throw it over to Charlie first. Start with your smallest trade. Don't give us your blockbuster yet.
All right, this is a little different. I have SmackDown sending Kalisto to Raw, and SmackDown getting Jack Gallagher. So in turn, they're sending Kalisto to the cruiserweights actually, and getting a cruiserweight from them. So I'm hoping that Gallagher and Aiden English can form Vaudevillains 2.0 or something. So That's definitely my smallest game.
I'd be down because Gallagher, like, he's too good.
Exactly.
Like,
and Kalisto is a known name, so it's something going into the cruiserweights.
Yeah.
All right, Garrett.
So this is actually a bit of a weird one. It actually is technically 2 people being traded for 2 people, but it's not a tag team. So I have because we haven't seen him on TV in so long, Rusev and Lana going over and being traded for The Miz and Maurice.
I could see that.
And
yeah.
you know, it's an even trade, and then you could also do a bunch of stuff with both of them on either show. You know, give that opportunity to Rusev to show that he's really ready to go up to that main event level, because he himself has even said he's really not there yet to people, I think. And so, you know, but now maybe when he goes to SmackDown, he can do that. And The Miz is already on a hot streak, and he can actually make it the year of The Miz without having to be, you know, necessarily tied to a certain title or a feud. You know.
I like the idea of Rusev on SmackDown, actually. That's good. He could probably do well there.
But it probably won't happen.
I agree. I also actually had Rusev moving brands going over. Jesus Christ.
Downsy says, I like the diva with big tits.
Horse racing 1.
Nice.
Yeah. Take
You
that.
won the match? Nice, dude.
So,
Yeah.
you know, back to back. I was on a 4 losing streak before that. So I also had Rusev changing brands. I actually have him getting traded heads up. I mean, Lana would obviously go with him as well, but he'd be traded for Dolph Ziggler.
Oh,
I think
Yeah.
the heel turn has not been very favorable for him. These are just 2 guys that they really need a rejuvenation, and they can both work really well. So I just think it makes a lot of sense. With that said, go ahead.
I think it does too. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rick?
I'm going to break your guys' roles for no heel for face. I'm saying Sami Zayn for Ziggler.
There you go. I'm down with it.
That makes sense to me.
Because
That was going to be my original pick.
Sami Zayn, and then, like you guys said, the Ziggler thing isn't going so well, so might as well switch brands with him.
That's very true. Garrett, give us your second.
So my second pick is I have Sami Zayn for Apollo Crews, because I think in WWE's eyes they're on the same level, even though Zayn's probably like maybe if there's like 7 tiers, Apollo's in 7, he's in 6. You know what I mean? Like in terms of being
Right.
truly over and unable to be damaged by losing a bunch to the fans. So yeah, I think that's even trade. I think that's what I think Apollo Crews might be able to do better on Raw. I don't know. Maybe he's one of those.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe he could be put into some sort of mid-card feud and then put into a U.S. title feud or something. I don't know. Something.
Maybe Angle can help give him a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. I wonder why they haven't tried going the way of Cruz and American Alpha doing something together. I feel like they'd fit really well together.
I don't know why they haven't done anything with them other than they did the Ziggler and him and Kalisto thing, which was just weird from the start.
Well, if my picks are right, then you could still do that because you'd have Angle presiding over them, and then he'd be like, "Hey, I like this Apollo Crews kid." You know what I mean? Maybe that's the plan. Who knows?
I see potential in him, and he takes him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like you're the singles guy for American Alpha, the stable of American Alpha instead of just the team. You
That'd
know?
be cool. I'd be really down.
I'd be down. Yeah.
All right, Charlie, what's your second?
All right. I also have Sami Zayn going to SmackDown, but for Luke Harper. I'd like to get Luke Harper away from Bray and Eric Rowan, and face. He just had.
Who'd you have going for Luke Harper?
Sami Zayn.
I had the same exact trade.
Oh, did you? There you go. I don't know. It just makes sense. I really like
It
that.
does. It does. It's 2 guys they've been giving Luke and Sammy pushes on the brand, setting up a big, jump for them on the other brand. You know what I mean?
Just like small ones.
Yeah, we've been seeing them getting pushes. Like Sami Zayn and Luke Harper have been getting some steam on their brands, but they have no foreseeable opponents. So
Exactly. Like
This
as
could
much as I want Harper to get away from the Wyatts, I also want Sami Zayn to get away from Strowman and Kevin Owens, and him and Kevin Owens never should have been on the first brand in the same brand in the first place.
Yeah.
I always thought that was the dumbest thing of the draft.
Yeah. But they needed to do it to set us.
So now we're going into our blockbusters.
Big money.
So I think I'll go first. I think it makes way too much sense, and I don't know. I think Seth Rollins for AJ Styles, straight up.
I had the same exact thing.
Did we all have it?
I
Yeah.
actually didn't.
Oh, okay.
Rick, did you have it?
Yeah, because
Dude, it's
both-
so good.
you have
Yeah.
Styles beat the GM, and then Rollins beat Seth, or Triple H, not Seth. Seth beat Triple H, and then push that GM into a table. So I think they're gonna be like, yeah, I don't want this guy. I don't want this guy. But
Right, exactly. Let's make a mutual agreement to trade off these guys for each other. And they already had some sort of closure between Styles and McMahon.
I personally don't want it to happen because I want to see a Rollins Styles match. I want to see Rollins get traded over to SmackDown, but without Styles. But there's no way it's gonna happen.
Who knows, man? In a couple, they're gonna save that honestly for like 2 WrestleManias from now when they merge the titles back together. I really think that's gonna eventually
That'll be the
happen.
match. It'll be AJ Styles as probably Universal Champion and Seth Rollins as the WWE Champion. And they'll be like, these are the titles we held when we first got
They know
to
what
the
they
top
have
of these brands.
to say at least.
Rollins still
Yeah.
hasn't held that Universal title, has he? That would be a really depressing thought for him to leave the brand. Yeah, but it'd be really sad to see him leave that brand.
Jericho
without-
for your entire Owens feud, he got screwed over by Jericho.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the thing too. It would be really sad to see him have made that title. Like, part of the reason why that title is so worthwhile now is because he wanted it so damn bad. You know.
Mhm.
I mean, and if you just took that away, I feel like that's bad. But I even have the pick down, so I can't see it going anywhere else. You know?
Exactly. So Charlie, what's yours?
Mine also has AJ Styles going to Raw, but I have them taking Finn Balor.
Oh
Ooh.
my gosh, that would be great, actually.
This is both the Bullet Club leaders from Japan, you know, and honestly,
Yeah, actually, I didn't even say that. AJ Styles getting back with the club, so we all have that.
He
That's
goes to
huge.
Raw.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes sense, at least in our eyes. I don't know. I would like to see Balor on SmackDown. I definitely think he could do as much as Styles did.
I agree.
Absolutely, yeah.
The only thing that would be sad is I'm holding out for that Styles Nakamura match since he
Yeah.
just debuted on SmackDown, but it looks like he's almost destined to go. So I mean, it'd be cool. So I mean, those are blockbusters. 3 of us have Seth Rollins going, and all 4 of us have AJ Styles going. So those seem like the 2 obvious ones because we're trying to pick guys. Really, we're all trying to pick guys that don't have something, going. Like we were saying, and not Enzo and Cass. Cesaro and Sheamus just won that number 1 contender. So why would they move? You know what I mean?
I'm sure if Cesaro and Sheamus weren't a team, everyone would have Cesaro going to SmackDown in some type of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
know, remember how bad they wanted that at the beginning?
Yeah.
So
It would have been really cool. So I have 2 wild card things. The first one I have so as we know, this situation, Mauro Ranallo has been dealing with some stuff. He's already come out and said like it's not expected for Mauro Ranallo to come back to the WWE through the remainder of his contract, so he's pretty done with the WWE. And I think SmackDown needs a spark. So I've got JBL for Corey Graves.
I would love that.
I think
I
trading
wanna
the
see
color
Graves.
commentators, JBL and Michael Cole have past chemistry. Corey Graves could rip into Tom Phillips. I think it would be good combinations.
Fire Otunga, that'd be nice. Get that
True.
be a thing? Just back him.
A shakeup would just be to fire someone.
I really like the Saxon and Corey Graves shit that goes on. Like them 2 commentating, like poor Saxon always gets ripped off by Corey Graves, but it's so funny.
Exactly, and Tom Phillips could fill the same void.
Yeah.
So
That's what Graves is good at. He did it with Ronaldo and Aries. That was a great combo.
Oh yeah.
At 205 Live at the beginning.
Yep, I agree. And this also makes sense because they filmed 205 Live after SmackDown. Corey Graves would no longer have to go back and forth to Raw and SmackDown in order to
Yeah, because he
do
should
commentary
be
for both of them.
voice crack. He should be going home on Tuesdays.
Exactly. So it's better for Graves. JBL and Cole already have that camaraderie with each other. I think JBL being, now that Kurt Angle's there, JBL can hang out with Kurt Angle. They were old buddies and stuff like that. I think it makes a lot of sense for both parties. So wild card predictions. Garrett, I'll throw it over to you.
So I have also got commentators, and this is something that legit could happen if they're going to do commentators. I can see this happening. David Otunga for Byron Saxton.
Oh my God.
The most pointless trade. Do they say anything? Either of them?
They did it. They just know how pointless both of them are.
Yeah, that's true. They would try to make it up as something big too.
Byron was actually really good in the at the beginning of when the draft first happened, when he would interview people in the ring, like Strowman or Strowman's jobbers he faced. Byron was funny as hell doing that. I wish they did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But could you guys see that Byron for David Otunga? I mean,
I could see it. Why not? There have to be some minor trades, you know. Like we were talking, like Rusev, Dolph Ziggler is still a pretty big trade, you know.
Fandango.
Like they'll do a couple like that, but like I'm not really, you know, it's whatever. Actually, Bo Dallas going over to be with Bray Wyatt would be.
I'm hoping he does.
Bo Dallas for Kurt Hawkins.
Please go ahead.
Is there one trade that you're really hoping happens that you put on your list? If you had to pick one, is there one that you're really hoping?
Luke Harper for Sami Zayn. I'm looking.
Rollins for AJ, honestly.
There you go now. What do you think?
Rollins, AJ.
Yeah, Rollins, AJ, absolutely.
Rick.
I don't want that to happen. I want Rollins and AJ to go after each other. I want I want to take Charlie's trade to actually happen. I want the Balor. Actually, no.
It's hard. It's hard to pick one that you really want to happen. I think it's a weird one, but I think I really want to see Kalisto go to Raw and Gallagher. If they do it, that'd be huge. Gallagher
just to see what Gallagher could do. Just chuck him, you know, throw him into the fire and see what happens. Another thing I actually forgot to mention was how I think Rollins and Styles would happen, because I think Rollins would be on Raw. AJ Styles would not be on Raw this week. I think Rollins would be on Raw, Styles would be on SmackDown, and that's how they would go off air, is Styles coming out there and if they are going to go babyface, turn with him officially, then he could come out, you know, last segment, he could be like, you know, I'm so grateful for everything. And then, you know, like McMahon come out and just be like, you know what, make, you know, Shane McMahon go full heel and just be like, you know what, sorry, shipped you off as of 10 minutes ago. Or if Styles was going heel, he'd come out and be like, yeah, I came out last week. I was sweetening up the GM, you know, came out, you know, or the, you know, CEO or whatever. I came out, I shook Shane's hand just because I wanted to stay here and, you know, kick the piss out of everyone else on SmackDown. It was all a front, all this and that, you know, screw him. I'm here to run stuff on SmackDown. And that's when McMahon comes out and he's like, you know what? I just changed my mind. I was on the phone just now, just made a trade. Guess who's here? You know, and then Rollins comes out and confronts him. They have a brawl and they tease it a little bit, and then just don't talk about it.
They know what they have there, man. They really do. There's no way they don't. Just like AJ Styles and Nakamura, they know what they have if they do that match.
Everyone else can like show up on each other's like.
I have a question about that. If they do Styles versus Nakamura, would they bill it as Styles Nakamura 1 or 2?
1. Since NJPW.
Yeah, I mean it's not. They haven't wrestled so many times. Like with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they kind of had to be like, these guys have wrestled against each other for like all over the world. With Styles and Nakamura, they would say something along the lines of they've faced each other in Japan, but they're two totally different people now. You know, now that Styles has gone on this incredible run, he dominated on SmackDown and Nakamura dominated at NXT. You know, they're clashing, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah.
None
of us had Roman Reigns moving. I see a lot of people thinking he'll switch.
Nah.
Yeah, he could, but I think the way that he's going with the heel turn, he's going to be a lot less PG, and they need people like that on Raw.
Is he really? I mean, is he really turned heel though, or is he just what they want him to be? Whatever.
Ask Triple H, bro. He's been heel forever. So anyway, do we have who else has another wild card trade? Anyone have 2? Or am I the only one? Because I think somehow they're going to do something with JR because he signed that contract. So maybe he'll do pay-per-view. Yeah, he'll probably show up. Who knows, man? Now that Morrow's gone, instead of doing JBL, Corey Graves, or whatever, JR could just show up, and they could get rid of Otunga and just have the 3-man be JR, Tom Phillips, JBL on SmackDown.
JR and Tom Phillips would do fine by themselves too, but they're both
That was one of the best episodes of SmackDown in terms of commentary. Was the first episode they didn't have Mauro Ranallo on, and it was just Phillips and JBL, which
Yeah.
I was like, I could do that. for the
JBL
rest of
stepped
the time.
up.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I think he knows. I think he just knows if there's a guy like Mauro Ranallo on there that he can just rip on. He doesn't really have to do much. You know, he can just go off script because he's one of those guys that can also go off script if he wants to. You know, so
Yeah, it's true. Well, I do have one more wild card trade. I think if WWE really wants to tug at the heartstrings of fans, I think they could come out and Enzo and Cass have a match. And after the match, you know, they'll probably win or something. They'll probably beat like Shining Stars, you know, someone stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, all back on track. And then Angle comes out and he's like, hey, you know, I got word from the upper that you know, we're gonna end up trading you guys over to SmackDown or whatever. Somehow there's been a trade and someone's moving to SmackDown, and he's gonna say you've both been traded, and they'll be like, you know, whatever, you know, let's go to SmackDown and run it. And he's gonna be like, but you're not both going to SmackDown. And
Ooh.
Big Cass is gonna go to SmackDown, and they're gonna send Enzo back down,
That'd be-
sparking a huge babyface run for Enzo at NXT.
That'd be huge.
that would be huge.
He needs work on his in-ring stuff. I think him going down to NXT, earning his stripes, Big Cass can go on a probably a big mid-card run at SmackDown. I'd buy Big Cass and if he went over and he had Carmella over there, Big Cass and Carmella together going against Miz and Maurice kind of deal. Get the IC title in there somehow. They have a nice big feud. Enzo's earning himself back, and then he comes back up to the roster as like a heel or something because he's pissed off, and they actually have a big feud against each other.
This would all be months down the road because right now
Oh,
the
yeah.
next feud is going to be Corbin versus Ambrose again. But,
Right, exactly, yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I'm saying IC title somewhere down the road between
Right.
those two, you know, whatever. But he would be that mid-card kind of guy. I think Cass is ready for it. I think putting him and Carmella together, they've both been working their asses off. They need it. But I think sending Enzo back down to NXT people would be like, oh no. You know, because people are just like, no, don't split them up. And then they actually do it.
Did you see?
I think-
the run Cass went on Raw for the month that Enzo was gone was insanely good.
Oh yeah,
It was
he was
awesome.
getting huge reactions, especially against Jericho.
And he can talk like you would never believe. And that might have been because they were maybe throwing him into training sessions while Enzo was gone. But I mean, he's always been able to do that, I'm sure, you know?
And then they could do the love triangle thing between Cass and Carmella and Ellsworth. And then could you imagine how over Enzo would get with the sympathy going back down to NXT?
Oh, yeah.
It would be huge.
I'm close with that.
But could he hold the NXT title, though?
No, I don't think so.
No.
He doesn't have to, though. Dillinger just got called up.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I'm not saying you have to. I mean, you
Right.
don't have to. I'm
Right,
just
yeah,
saying.
they wouldn't have him hold the title. But he'd come back up, and then he could either feud with Big Cass or, you know, big reunite between them, and then, you know, finally him, Big Cass, and Carmella could all be together after, you know, 3 years or whatever it's been. It would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be down. So if you guys watching happen to have any predictions, Rick, did you have any more?
Dude, you know how his hand sanitizer always says it kills 99.99% of something? Well, the chances of this trade even happening is 0.01%, but no one even says this, and it would literally probably not exist, but I'm doing this for shits and giggles. I'm literally saying Cena for Roman.
Cena's gone.
They can still trade him. He's still on the roster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
Raw can
guess.
afford to do that with all their
And Raw
superstars.
loves to have part-timers, obviously.
Yeah, they're champions of part-timer.
That'd be interesting.
That would be.
But it's not going to happen. I'm just going to be honest.
No.
That's true. It would definitely be interesting, though. So anyway, if you guys in the chat have any ideas for trades or whatever, put them in. We'll give you guys a shout out on the next episode. I always try to keep up to date with comments and whatnot. I don't know why we're arguing over what was Cowboys and Packers when obviously we know who the best team is, Patriots. So
Colts.
So at this point, the Lakers might as well.
how are you gonna say the Colts? How are you?
Because they're the
gonna
best
say
team in the league.
Yeah, dude, the Lakers are great. They're winning all the time. I'm down with it. Celtics, #1 overall pick. It's
They
happening.
clinched it. That's unbelievable.
Markel Fultz. Welcome to the
Imagine,
team.
bro.
So, anyway,
Ooh.
we will we'll do a sports podcast sometime. But we'll also
By the way, the Bruins got crushed by the
You don't even watch hockey.
Caps.
I watch hockey.
Bullshit. What's the
I
Capitals'
do.
record?
What's their record? I don't know. I have the NHL up. I could look it up if I wanted to.
Dude
can't
looks
tell you
down
the
at
record
team
off the top of my
screen
head.
once a night, sees that his team won or lost, and goes, "Yeah, bro, huge fan."
No, dude. I actually do watch hockey whenever I can. I just never have the TV.
True. Yeah, same here. I follow the Bruins, but I don't get to watch any of the games or whatever. So anyway, I will.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. How the hell are you a Washington fan? You like the Colts?
Jesus.
I don't say. I don't have.
God, you guys
Listen. I don't have to be tied down to one town.
Wow. You like the Warriors too, bro?
No, actually, I don't like the NBA all that much.
Yeah, I don't like the Warriors all that much. I'm just a LeBron fan.
No, I don't like the I don't like the NBA all that much.
That's true. All right.
That was good.
Anyway, we'll catch you on the flip side. We'll see you next Wednesday. If I fail my test, then Charlie might have to host. Later.
Peace.